Okay. Last time was pretty loud. We had to adjust. That's why we had to adjust everything for the mic stuff. And when it got adjusted, we pushed it up to full blast, and then we didn't unadjust it. So it's fixed now. I'll have the soft, happy voice, not blasting in your eardrums voice. Okay, week 2. We're so excited. Today is going to be a nice stretch day, but we are going to be using a lot of core, so be prepared. If at any point in time you do feel uncomfortable with a movement or anything is too difficult for you, please feel free to push back, make your own modification. Ask me for a modification. I promise I'm not scary. Or ask me after class for a different movement, and you can look for an alternative later. We can definitely go over that. Other than that, still pretty much the same. We're still going to be stretching, still going to be the same kind of difficulty. So just take care of yourself with that. Don't forget to start your watch. And let's go ahead and get started. This time we're going to start in a seated position. Feel free to either go on your knees or sit on your glutes, crisscross applesauce, whatever's comfortable for you. But we're just going to interlace our fingers in front of us. Feel that stretch through the chest. Tucking our chin to our chest, slowly rolling forward. Feel the stretch go deep into your shoulders. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, we're lifting up through the core, pushing our palms to the ceiling, still interlaced. Feeling the stretch. Move locations. Feel free to take those little side bends if that feels comfortable. Another deep breath in. We're going to roll forward, tucking that chin to our chest, slowly lowering down. Paying attention to the migration of where the stretch is using our breath. Let's go ahead and lift back up, squeeze through the core, lift through the glutes. Pushing our hands up, palms to ceiling, find that length. Try to push a little bit further up. Get that reach, side bends. If that feels comfortable, slowly rolling back forward, tucking our chin to our chest. Remembering to breathe. Go ahead and roll up one more time. Palms to ceiling. Take those little side bends if that feels comfortable. This time we're going to rotate, twisting through the core, sending our left hand back. Right hand presses to the side of our knee. Reaching back through the fingertips. Look for a stretch through that bicep. Once you find that, try lifting your fingers back, pulling them up. Feel the deepening of that stretch. Move to your forearms. Holding here for another deep breath in. Trying to reach just a little bit further back. Twist a little bit more. Exhale, lifting all the way back up overhead. Find that length. And we're coming back, reaching back with the right arm now. Still looking for that length through your fingertips. Once you feel that stretch through your bicep, go ahead and bring your fingertips back towards you. Reaching a little bit further, trying to deepen that twist through your spine. Exhale, lifting all the way back up to center. We're going to roll forward. Finding that tabletop position. Shoulders stacked over wrists, hips stacked over knees. Feel free to take a few spine circles here. Warming up your back, warming up your shoulders, your hips, engaging your core. Choosing freedom of movement and fluidity in a way that's comfortable for you. Remembering to breathe. When you're ready, we're going straight into those cat-cows on that deep breath in, lifting your chest up, pushing through the heels of your palms, trying to get your nose to the ceiling, expanding through the belly. And exhale, tucking your ribs to your hips, squeeze through the core, lifting the belly up. Another deep breath in, expanding through the belly, lifting through the chest, nose looking to the ceiling, holding at the top. Exhale, squeeze the core, lifting back up, arching the spine. Feel like a string's attached to your belly button and someone's pulling up. One more time, deep breath in, expand through the chest. Holding at the top, finding that depth. Exhale, squeeze the core. Arching the spine. Another deep breath in. When you're ready, we're just going to push back into that child's pose. Now that we've welcomed a little bit of movement into the body, generated a little bit of heat, using this time to bring awareness to all four corners of your body. You might try wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, feeling your forearms pressed into the mat as you slowly sink your chest further and further into the floor. Deepening that stretch through your chest, through your shoulders. Becoming centered with your breath. Taking a full brain scan. Figuring out how your body feels right now. If you'd like to add a little bit of flow through this stretch, feel free to rock your hips side to side. Keep breathing. When you're ready, we're going to rise up, but we're going to stay on our forearms here. Go ahead and take your left hand, bring your fingertips to your temples. We're just going to open and close, expanding that range of motion through your chest, through your shoulders, trying to keep your hips centered to the ground below you. The only thing that should be moving is your arm and twisting in your spine, trying to keep your hips as still as possible. Trying to get your elbow a little bit further back every time you lift it. Really expanding through the chest here. Go ahead and do one more, but this time we're going to reach the fingertips all the way up to the ceiling. Look for that length. If you'd like to increase the intensity, feel free to reach your left hand into your back pocket, deepening that twist just a little bit more. Taking another deep breath in, trying to sink a little bit further into that stretch. And on your next exhale, go ahead and go back to that forearm. Shoulders still stacked, but this time over elbows. We're going to do the same thing for the other side. Now go ahead and lift up your right arm, fingertips to temple. Open and close that gate. Expanding through the chest. Using your breath. Holding at the top, deepening that stretch. Inhale for length. Exhale for depth. Squeezing through the core. The core is still active here. Trying to keep those hips centered to the floor beneath you. Go ahead and do one more, lifting that elbow up as far as you can. Trying to straighten out that arm, fingertips to ceiling. If you'd like to increase the intensity, feel free to take that hand and put it in your back pocket. Holding here for another deep breath in. Trying to twist a little bit deeper. Use that breath. Exhale, coming back to center. Both forearms planted on the ground. We're going to push back into that child's pose. But we're going to lift up and extend, hips to floor, sinking that spine. Find that twist, coming back, child's pose. We're going to make a little bit of a flow out of this. We're going to sink back, and then we're going to lift our hips up, planting them on the mat, pushing through The heels of our palms, slight bend in those elbows. Using our breath, finding a pace that's comfortable for you. One more time. Last one. This time we're going to come back. Hips are going to meet the ground, but we're going to lower onto our forearms. Coming into a plank position, curling your toes underneath of you, holding here through your core, trying to keep that straight line. Elbows stacked underneath of your shoulders. Another deep breath in. Go ahead and rock forward and backward. Still engaging the core, still staying lifted. Adding that fluidity through your shoulders. Deep breaths. When you're ready, go ahead and find stillness. We're just going to tap each knee to the floor. Taking another deep breath in, go ahead and push yourself back to a downward dog, but we're still staying on our forearms. Little bit of a break for your core. And when you're ready, we're going to find that hovering knee position and push back. Making a bit of a flow out of this here as well. Hovering our knees and push back. Waking up those shoulders, waking up that core. Using your breath. Go ahead and try two more. And we're going to end on that knee hover. Go ahead and rock side to side, alternating the taps of left and right knee on the ground, activating those obliques, engaging the sides of your core. Go ahead and do one more on each side. Coming back to that knee hover position, alternating each leg extending out and walking back in, waking up our legs. Keep taking those breaths. Only a couple more. Core still active. Another deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to end on that hover position, letting our knees fully fall to the ground. Settle back, finding that child's pose position. Holding here for one more little break, using that breath. When you're ready, we're going to come back into that extended child's pose, hips to floor, and push back. Still keeping the body warm. Using that breath. One more time. We're going to end on that extended pose, keeping our hips settled on the mat, keeping our elbows tight to our sides, slowly lower down, all the way to your belly, pushing through your fingertips. We're going to come up, find that baby cobra, squeezing that back, and lower down, lifting our feet up, squeeze those glutes. Another deep breath. Exhale, push up through your arms, baby cobra. We're going to add on to this, lowering down, squeeze those glutes, reach your arms in front of you. Pull your elbows back, squeeze your traps together. Lower those palms down, push up, baby cobra. For about 2 more, go ahead and lower down. Reach those hands in front of you. Squeeze your elbows back, pinching your traps together. Lowering your palms down, lifting up, baby cobra. 1 more, lowering all the way down. Reach your hands in front of you. Squeeze your glutes, legs are lifted. Pulling your elbows back, pinch that pencil between your shoulder blades. Deep breaths, lowering your hands down, push yourself up. 1 last baby cobra. Trying to lift a little bit further here. Find that stretch through your back. Deep breaths in. Exhale, we're pushing ourselves up. Find that tabletop position. Curling your toes underneath of you. Go ahead and lift. Find that hover. Pushing yourself all the way up through those shoulders. Downward dog, pedaling out your feet. Waking up the backs of your legs. Using that breath. When you're ready, go ahead and walk your hands to your feet. Find that forward fold. Option to interlace through your elbows here. Letting your spine lengthen. Deep breath in. Go ahead and roll vertebra by vertebra all the way up to standing. Fingertips reaching into the ceiling. Look for that length. Take those side bends if that feels good to you. Finding center, go ahead and bring your hands down, interlacing them behind your back. We're going to sink our knees down, squeeze through the glutes, squeeze through the core, folding over our knees. Find that forward fold. Feeling that stretch through your shoulders, opening through your chest. When you're ready, go ahead and unhook those hands, bring them back down to the floor. As you slowly sink further into this stretch, go ahead and half lift, hinging at the hips. But we're going to walk our hands to the left. Still in that half lifted position, squeezing through the glutes, squeezing through the quads, feeling that stretch through our lower back and our right side body. Another deep breath in, walking our hands back to center and all the way over to the right side. Still in that half lifted position, we're still squeezing the glutes, lifting through the core. But now we're feeling a nice stretch through the hips, through our left side body. When you're ready, go ahead and come back to center. Taking another deep breath. We're going to bend our right knee, lift our right hand, and expand through the chest. Hold here for 1 deep breath in. Exhale, lower, bend that left knee, raise that right hand, and lift. We're going to do that again. Bending opposite knee, lifting that left hand, trying to expand a little bit further through that chest. If this is difficult for you, feel free to grab onto those blocks, place them underneath of your hands for that little extra support. Go ahead and alternate, bending left knee, lifting right hand. Another deep breath in. Go ahead and lower, coming back to center. We're lifting all the way up, rolling vertebra by vertebra into that standing position. Hands lifted overhead. Go ahead and sink those hips down. Find that chair pose. Squeeze through the glutes, squeeze through the quads, lift through the core. Go ahead and bend those elbows, bring them into a 90, squeezing your scapula together. Fold over those knees, forward fold. Hinging at the hips, half lift, squeeze those glutes, lift through the core. We're going to bring our shoulders and our arms up, making that Y pose, and lowering back down. Go ahead and do that 2 more times, slowly rolling up vertebra by vertebra. Fingertips to the sky. Slowly sinking into that chair pose, activating the quads and the glutes. Squeezing your elbows into that 90, pinching the pencil between your shoulder blades. Folding over those knees, forward fold. Half lift, squeeze through the glutes, lift through the core. Bring those arms to a Y. One more time, forward fold. Roll vertebra by vertebra. Lift through those fingertips. Slowly sinking down, chair pose. Elbows coming in. Squeeze the scapula together. Folding over those knees. Forward fold. Half lift, sink those hips. Lift through the glutes and the core. Arms coming all the way up to a Y. Go ahead and lower back down. Forward fold. We're going to walk our hands forward, find that high plank. Slowly lowering down to the knees, elbows tucked tight to your sides, lowering all the way down. When you're ready, try kicking that left foot back, reaching back with your left hand, grabbing on to your foot. If you can't grab your foot, that's okay. Go ahead, just reach. Feeling a nice stretch through your left quad. Another deep breath in. Go ahead, let go of that foot. Reach back with your right hand. Lift your right foot. Gently pulling your heel closer to your glute. Deep breaths. Go ahead and let go of that foot. We're going to push ourselves up, find that tabletop position. Shoulders stacked over the heels of your palms, hips stacked over knees. From here, we're just going to do a little core warm-up again, lifting left arm, kicking back that right leg. Squeeze the glutes, making a straight line from the tips of your fingers, top of your head, shoulders, hips, toes, and lower it down. Same thing, other side. Go ahead and lift that right arm, kick that left leg back. Squeeze through the glute, squeeze through the shoulder, and lower. Alternating to the other side. Go ahead and do this at a pace that feels comfortable for you. Making sure you feel activation in all of those muscles here. Staying lifted through the core, squeeze through the glute. Using your breath. Inhale for length. Exhale for depth. Go ahead and do this one more time. Coming back to that tabletop position, I'm going to start with the modifier here. Go ahead and bring that left knee to chest and kick back. Left knee to chest, squeezing that core and kicking back, lifting through the glute, still keeping that core activated. If you'd like to add a new intensity level to this movement, feel free to curl your right toes underneath of you, hovering up. We're going to bring that knee to chest and kick back, three-legged dog. Using that breath. Squeezing the glute. Finding a pace that's comfortable for you. For 2 more. Last one, bring that knee to chest and pulse for 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and step your foot to the outside of your left hand, lowering onto that right knee. Slowly letting your hips sink further into the floor. Trying to keep that knee stacked over your ankle. When you're ready, go ahead and try to lift up to center. Push through that quad, squeeze the glutes, lift through the core. When you're ready, we're bringing our fingertips to temples. Go ahead and try to meet opposite elbow, opposite knee. Feeling a stretch through the hips here. Lifting back up to center. Reaching over with the left hand and back with the right. Coming back. Fingertips to temple. Opposite elbow, opposite knee. Lifting up. Reaching back. Doing this at a pace that's comfortable for you. For 2 more. Last one. Reaching back. When you're ready, let's come back to center. We're curling our right toes underneath of us. We're going to press through the left heel, lifting all the way up to that high lunge. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core. Using the breath. Hold here. Go ahead, if you're ready, interlacing your hands behind your back, holding here. If you'd like to increase the intensity, feel free to forward fold over that knee. Another deep breath in, finding that balance. Exhale, lifting up. Left hand reaches out, twisting the hips to the side. Right hand reaches the opposite side. Find length through your fingertips. Deep breath in, finding length, lifting. Left arm overhead, reverse warrior. Windmilling over, bringing that forearm to the top of your left knee. Finding that length through your fingertips, taking that breath, still squeezing through the glutes and the core. If you'd like to increase the intensity here, feel free to grab onto your block. Placing your hand on top. The option to reach into that back pocket with your right hand. Go ahead and hold here for another deep breath in. We're going to windmill our right hand down onto that block, rotating our back foot, slowly lowering down onto that back knee. Go ahead and grab your other block here. Place them on either side of your foot, and whatever setting is comfortable for you, however much support you need. We're just going to bend and straighten that front leg. If you're looking for more of a stretch through your calf here, go ahead and lift those toes up, pointing them to the ceiling, doing this at a pace that feels comfortable for you. Slowly trying to increase that depth of hips to floor. Feeling that stretch in your hamstring. Doing one more, we're going to end on that knee bend. Pushing through your blocks, using your hands, go ahead and lift up, find that high lunge. And if you can, feel free to try to straighten out that front leg, coming all the way into that pyramid pose. this is difficult, you can also try placing your blocks in their tallest setting, holding here. Find that stretch through your hamstring. One more deep breath in, slowly sinking further. And on that exhale, go ahead and bend that knee, lifting up through the core, squeeze the glutes. We're going to lift our hands into the air and take a few lunge pulses here, bending that knee down, pushing up through that left glute. Bend and straighten. Feel free to add an intensity level here. When you get to the bottom after that bend, you can also open to that knee. That is a balance challenge. Whatever is in your comfort zone. Trying to do 2 more. And lift, lowering all the way down, back onto that knee, moving those blocks. Deep breaths, go ahead and move that foot back, finding your tabletop position. We're going to do the same thing for the other side now. Starting off with that modification, tucking that right knee to your chest and kicking that foot out, knee to chest, and kicking out. Remember, we're squeezing our core here, lifting through the glute. If you'd like to increase the intensity, feel free to curl your left toes underneath, come up into that hover position, and kick back, 3-legged dog. Remember, we're doing this at a pace that's comfortable for you. Pushing through the back, using the shoulders. For about 2 more. Last one. 3 good taps for 1, 2, 3. Stepping that foot to the outside of your right hand. Finding that lizard lunge. Increasing the depth through your hips here. Go ahead and take a nice deep breath. And when you're ready, we're lifting up. Hands to temples. Opposite elbow, opposite knee. And reaching back. Fingertips to temples. Left elbow, right knee. Reaching back, right arm overhead. Trying to keep that knee stacked over your ankle. Focusing on balance, using that core activation. For 2 more. Last one. Coming back to center, curling your left toes underneath of you. Using our right hip, we're going to push off, coming all the way into that high lunge. Holding here. Option to interlace your hands behind you if you'd like to increase the intensity level. Folding all the way over that knee. Another deep breath in. Exhale, lifting all the way up to center. Right arm reaches in front, left arm reaches back. Length through the fingertips. Sending right arm overhead, length through the fingertips, still bending through that right side body. Feeling that stretch. Another deep breath in. Exhale, windmilling forward, right forearm on top of that right knee, left hand overhead. Option to grab that block. Bring your hand all the way down, lifting your left hand up and putting it in your back pocket. Still holding here. One more deep breath in. Go ahead and unravel your left hand. Windmill it back, slowly lowering down on that left knee. Finding that low lunge. Trying to keep your knee stacked over that ankle, holding here. And sending yourself back into that straighten to bend flow. Remember, if you'd like more of a calf stretch here, feel free to lift your toes all the way up to the ceiling. But if you'd like to focus more on the hamstrings, keeping those toes on the ground. Trying to take about 2 more. Last one, bending that knee, ending on that bend, curling your toes up from underneath of you, push, finding that high lunge. Feel free to try to straighten out that front leg, finding your pyramid pose. One more deep breath in. Exhale, rebend, lift through the core, all the way up, finding that high lunge. From here, we're just gonna go into a few pulses, lowering down and lifting up. If you'd like to add that balance component in here as well, feel free to open up to the knee that's bent and lift. Find a pace that's comfortable for you. For about 2 more, squeeze the glutes, lift through the core. Last one. Lowering all the way down to that knee. Deep breath in. Placing both hands on the ground, go ahead and send that foot back. Take a few spine circles if that feels comfortable to you. Push back, child's pose. When you're ready, feel free to cross those legs behind you. Slowly move back to a seated position. Knees are up. We're going to slowly lower down onto our back. Finding that reverse tabletop position. Bringing fingertips to our temples. We're just going to take a few crunches, activating that core. Lift and lower. Find that shake. Trying to keep your back, your lower back, fully flush to the ground. You don't want to space there. Squeeze that core one more time, staying lifted. The core is staying activated here. We're going to send one leg out, pull the opposite knee in, send that knee out, pull the other knee in. Alternated knee pull-ins, staying active through the core. Keep lifting. For about 2 more. Feel free to stay doing this, but if you'd like to increase the intensity level here, bringing both knees in, send them out, arms overhead, and pulling your knees back again. Still trying to keep that lower back fully touching the ground. For 2 more. Last one, pulling those knees in. Go ahead and set your right foot to the ground. Still keeping that core activated. Hands placed wherever's comfortable for you. We're just going to circle that left leg. Using that core to lift your leg. Trying to keep your hips still. Two more. Last one. Go ahead and circle in the other direction now. Still lifting through the core. Last one. Go ahead and end with that foot straight up. We're going to bring your right foot up to meet it, and we're going to alternate those scissor kicks. Still activating through the core. Try not to let your hips take over here. And when you're ready, go ahead and let that left leg settle on the ground. We're going to do some circles with our right. Keep using that breath. And when you're ready, alternating, circling in the other direction. Keeping the core activated. Another deep breath in. Go ahead and lift that right leg up all the way over. We're kicking the outside of that ankle to the top of our left knee. Feel free to stay here if this stretch is enough for you. But if you'd like to increase the intensity, grabbing onto the back of your left thigh or your left shin. Option to rock side to side here. Taking another deep breath, go ahead and send your arms to either side of your body. Gently letting your hips lower to the left, setting the bottom of your right foot on the ground. Trying to keep both shoulders planted on the floor. Deep breath in, coming back to center, unhooking your right leg from your left. Lift your left, hooking it over your right. Feel free to stay here or grab onto that right leg, gently rocking side to side. Go ahead and send your arms to either side of your body, gently letting your hips fall to the right, bottom of your left foot planted on the floor. Both shoulders still on the ground. Coming back to center, bring the soles of our feet together. One hand over your heart, one hand over your stomach. We're going to meet here for our last few breaths of class today. Taking this time to bring awareness to all four corners of your body. Wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Feel the back of your head pressed into the mat. The rise and fall of your chest. You might try box breathing here. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold, and repeat. Slowly allowing yourself to sink further and further into the floor. Letting go of any tension or stress built up throughout the day. Setting your intentions for the rest of today. Taking a full brain scan. Paying attention to your body. What's sore? What's not sore? Where's their tension? Where's their mobility? Where's their stiffness? Taking another big deep breath in. And exhale. That's going to bring us to the end of today's class. Feel free to stay and stretch if that feels comfortable to you. Congrats on making it through week 2. I look forward to seeing you all again next Tuesday.